Hello, welcome everyone. Today we are going to start a first chapter that is from class 8 NCERT Maths, that is rational numbers. So let's get started. So you have to remember some of the terms that is related to numbers. That the first one is natural number. So remember this, a number starting from 1 to so on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This type of positive integers, the group of positive integers is known as natural number. Remember, starting from 1. Another term is whole number. Now, the whole number is what? If 0 is added with the natural number, it means like there is no 0 in natural number, but in whole number, it's starting from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this type of group of numbers is known as whole number. So remember these two things. Natural numbers start from 1 to so on, and whole number is starting from 0 to so on. So in this chapter, you are going to study about rational numbers and their properties. So let's move further. Okay. Now there are some properties related to rational number. First, what is rational number? So the rational number is what? Any number if you can represent it in a form of P by Q. If you can represent it in form of P by Q where Q is not equal to 0, then this type of number is known as rational number. That we know, we have already seen that type of chapter in the previous year as well. So what is rational number? If any number can be represented in the form of P by Q where Q is not equal to 0, then it is known as rational number. Now there are some properties related to rational numbers, and that is applicable whenever you will be doing some of the operations like addition, subtraction. So remember these things. This is the heart of the chapter. So the first property is closure. Now for a whole number, let's see it, how it affects on a whole number. So we know that there are basic 4 type of operations are there. So for a whole number, we can know that it starts from 0 and so on. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so let's see first addition. So if you add any two positive numbers, the result generated will again a positive integer, which will be the group of whole number. So if you add any two positive integer, I mean like 0 and 5, here you've been given example of 0 and 5. 0 is a whole number, 5 is a whole number. Now adding, you get answer 5, which is again a whole number. So if you get the same thing, the same group member at the output side, it will be known as closure. So whole number are closure under addition. If you add any two whole number, the output will be again a whole number. So it is known as a closure property. So remember this one. In addition, whole numbers are closed under addition. Now subtraction. Let's subtract it. So if you subtract 5 minus 7, so we will get minus 2. Now we know that minus 2 is not in a group of whole number. 5 is a whole number, 7 is a whole number, but after subtracting these two numbers, you get minus 2, which is not again in a whole number. So if you get output which is not from the same group, then it is not closed under the particular operation. So whole number are not closed under subtraction. Remember this thing. Now let's consider multiplication. So 0 is whole number, 3 is whole number, and you will get output of 0. Same way you can think of any two numbers multiplication. So you will get output or answer will be from a same group, same whole number. So we can write whole numbers are closed under multiplication, which we know that if you multiply any two whole numbers, the output will be closed under multiplication. Now let's division. Let's see about what type of answers we get from division. Let's see. So 5 is whole number, 8 is whole number, but if you divide 5 by 8, then it is one type of rational number which is not in the group of whole number. So we can say that whole numbers are not closed under division. Remember this thing. So same way you can also consider integers. So let's see. -6 is an integer, 5 is an integer, and the answer -1 is also an integer. So we get output or the answer from the same group. So we can write that integers are closed under addition. Let's see about subtraction. So 7 is an integer, -5 is an integer, and you'll get 2 is output side, which is again an integer. So it is closed under subtraction as well. Let's see for multiplication and division. So you can see on the screen, if you multiply any two integer numbers, you will get the answer in integer form. So again, it is a closed. And if you divide any two integers, the output will be different, can be different. So one of the example has been given in your textbook, that is 5 divided by 8, which is not an integer number. So integers are not closed under division. Remember this thing. So let's first see the rational numbers. Okay, so we know that if you can write any number in the form of p by q, where q is not equal to 0, then it is known as rational number. Like for example, -2 by 3, 6 by 7 are the rational numbers. Also you can write -2, 4, 0, that you can write upon 1. If there is no any denominator, you can write 1. So you can represent 4 in the form of 4 by 1. So 4 by 1 is nothing but a p by q. So 4 is also one type of rational number, right? So these are the basic theories that has been given in your chapter number 1. Just gone through it. Okay. Now there are something basic operations you have to perform between rational numbers. So here you have been given -5 upon 8 minus 4 by 5. So remember this thing. Whenever you are doing plus or minus between rational numbers, you have to calculate LCM of the denominator. Remember, if you want to calculate this type of operation and addition or subtraction has been given, then you have to calculate first LCM of the number. After that, you can calculate its answer. But in multiplication and division, you don't need to calculate LCM. In multiplication, simply multiply numerators and multiply denominators together. In division, just write down the second number's reciprocal and exchange division by multiplication sign and then calculate it. This is the basic thing that you have to remember whenever you are doing the operations between rational numbers. So there are certain example has been given. Okay, now let's see some of the properties. The second property, that is commutativity. That is what, if you can do the operation by exchanging the numbers, means 0 will be exchanged by the second number 7 and 7 will be exchanged by 0 in reverse manner, if you get the same answer. So this type of property will be known as commutative property. So for a whole number, in addition operation, 0 plus 7 will be given a same answer as 7 plus 0. So addition is commutative. We can say that in a whole number, addition is commutative, but in a subtraction it is not commutative. Why? Because let's see that if you consider 5 minus 3 will be give us answer 2. Let's now exchange 3 and 5. So 3 minus 5 will give us minus 2. Now 2 is not equal to minus 2. So the answers are different. So you can write in whole number, subtraction is not commutative. Same way you can check for multiplication and division. Now let's see the same property for integer numbers. So for addition, if you add any two numbers, integer numbers, you will get same answers. So for integers, addition is commutative, subtraction is not commutative, multiplication is commutative, and division is not commutative. So remember this thing also. This is commutative property. Now the rational number. So if for a rational number operations, please remember that if you've been given plus or minus, then you have to calculate LCM. But here we are applying the property. This type of example are also asked in your chapter as well, that you have to do the operations with the help of property. So we will see it further. Here you can see, here we have been explained with the property of commutative. That means if you add minus 2 upon 3 plus 5 upon 7, or you add 5 upon 7 plus minus 2 upon 3, we'll be having the same answer. So it is nothing but a commutative property. So for rational number, addition is commutative, but subtraction is not commutative, because if you exchange this and this number, and if you get both of the answers, that will be not equal. So subtraction for a rational number is not commutative. Let's see about multiplication. So we know that if you multiply A by A multiplied by B, or B multiplied by A, will be give us a same answer. So you can say that multiplication is also commutative for a rational number. Now for a division, of course it is not commutative. So remember this one in commutative properties related to whole number, integers, and rational numbers. Now the third property, that is associativity, means you can see from multiplication. That let's see directly from example. Here you've been given 7 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 5. So it is in a bracket. So first you have to solve the bracket. So we will solve it. 5 multiplied by 2 will give us 10, multiplied by 7 will give us 70. If you first operate 7 multiplied by 2, it means now we are putting 7 multiplied by 2 into bracket, multiply by 5. Now calculate this answer also. So this answer and this answer will be same. So you can say that multiplication is associative. Same way in addition, if you've been given 3 plus 5 plus 7, you can first calculate 3 plus 5 and then add 7, or else you can simply first add 5 and 7 and then you can add 3. The answer will be same in both cases. So addition is associative. So this is associative property, which is highly used in practical aspects. So remember these two important properties, that is commutative and associative. So for whole number, addition is associative, subtraction is not associative, multiplication is associative, but division is not associative. Same way for integers, you have been given example also, so just gone through it. So addition is associative for integers. Integers means now we are replacing whole numbers by integers. So in integers, minus number are considered, 0 is considered, and positive integers are also considered. So the group of minus, plus, and 0 is known as integers. So remember this thing. Starting from 1, 2, 3 and so on will be a natural number. Starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 will be a whole number. If you are adding minus numbers with this group, means with whole number, you will get integers. Now the numbers which are resides between these integers is known as rational number. So remember, and the group of all the numbers will be a real number. I'll put some small video for this group of numbers also. So just subscribe my channel. Okay. Now let's see the operations related to rational number for associativity. So here you can see you have been given minus 2 upon 3 plus 3 upon 5 plus minus 5 upon 6. So if you calculate first this term and then the answer with this, you will get the same answer. So we can say that the addition is associative for rational number. Okay. Now for subtraction, it is not associative. You can calculate it with yourself, so you can get the original idea about what type of property associative is. Just you have been given 3 operands. You have to calculate either these two or either these two, and then the whole calculation and then compare. If you get different answers, then it is not associative. For multiplication, again, you can check it with yourself. So the multiplication is associative with rational numbers also. And division is not associative. So just complete this box so you can remember it properly. Now some of the examples you have been given. So let's see the first one example, that is 3 by 7 minus 6 by 11 plus minus 8 by 21 plus 5 by 22. So here in the first calculation, you can calculate it by getting the LCM of the denominator. So 462 is the LCM of 7, 11, 21 and 22. So by simplification, you will get minus 125 upon 462. This is the first type of solution for this type of example. But by property, you can also solve it. So here we have been used commutativity and associativity, both the properties. So 3 upon 7 plus minus 8 upon 21 plus minus 6 upon 11 plus 5 upon 22. So we have been made 2 groups of the given question. So solve this one, then this one, and the answers will be having again the plus operation, and then again solve this one. So we will get same answer. So this type of examples are also asked in your examination, but there is specifically specified that solve the question by using property. ऐसा लिखा होता है, तो आपको प्रॉपर्टी का यूज करना है, अदरवाइज यू कैन सॉल्व इट विथ योरसेल्फ. So just going through the samples. So here our theory related to chapter has been completed. One more thing, that is reciprocal and all the stuff you have know. So let's first recall what we have been seeing up to this. So summary has been given as the chapter last. So just gone through it. First point is rational numbers are closed under the operation of addition, subtraction and multiplication. So we have been gone through it. This is the important one. Then remember commutative and associative property for rational number as well. Then the rational number 0 is the additivity identity for rational number. Now what is additive identity and multiplicative identity? So remember this one. If you write any rational number and the answer will be the same rational number, how you will get it in addition operation? Suppose I have been given 5 and I want again a 5 at output side or at as answer. So what should I add with the 5 to get the same answer? So I will add 0. Of course we have to add 0 to get the same answer. So 0 is nothing but an additive identity. Same way for multiplication. If I have been given 13 and I want 13 as the answer. So how can I get the same answer by multiplying what? So I can multiply 1, or either I can multiply 0. Of course 0 not, because multiplying 0 will give us a 0, but multiplying 1 will give us the 13 at the answer side. So 1 is nothing but a multiplicative identity. So remember the fourth point also. Next thing, additive inverse. Now what is additive inverse? If you change the sign of numerator, remember this thing, this is the shortcut. If you change the change the signs of numerator, then this will be known as additive inverse. So if you have been given plus a, then replace it by minus, or else you have been given minus a, then replace it by a. So it is known as additive inverse. You are inverting the sign, or else you can remember it by just multiply minus sign with the given term. So if you multiply minus with the a by b, so we'll get minus ab. And if you have been given minus a upon b, then multiply minus, then minus minus will become plus. So we'll get a by b plus a by b. So this is additive inverse. One more thing, that is reciprocal, or it is known as multiplicative inverse. So the reciprocal is nothing but you have to reverse the numerator and denominator. So a by b will become b by a. Now this b by a is nothing but c by d. You can write b by a as well. So it will be easy to understand. A by b, and the reciprocal of a by b is b by a. So a by b multiplied by b by a. So b cancel, a cancel, will give it 1 as a output. So this is multiplicative inverse. Now distributivity of rational number. So distributive property. So now this is very important whenever you are solving some of the examples. So taking common from terms, it is distributive property. So if, let me give you one example. If you've been given 18 plus 9, so you can replace 18 by 9 multiplied by 2. So here you can write 9 multiplied by 2, and here just 9. So 9 is common, so you will be taking 9 as a common. So we will be having 2 plus 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3, and you can solve by 9 multiplied by 3. So using such type of manners is known as distributive property. Here you can also see that a b plus c can be replaced by a b plus ac, or else a b plus a has been given, so you can take out a as a common, so b plus c will be remain. So this is distributivity. Next, rational numbers can be represented on the number line, that we know. And last point, between any two given rational numbers, there are countless rational numbers. It means what? There are infinite numbers of rational number in between two rational number as well. So the idea of mean help us to find rational number between two rational numbers. So this is again the practical concept. So this is the basic introduction about the chapter. In next video lecture, we will be solving the